The sperm whale vs. the giant octopus. The giant octopus was a fearsome sea monster with a diameter of over 3 meters, 8 powerful tentacles, and a penchant for hunting fish and crustaceans in the deep sea. One day, a sailboat was sailing across the Pacific, and the crew was having their lunch. Suddenly, the ship began to rock violently, and the crew rushed to the windows to see what was happening. To their amazement, a colossal sea creature had appeared alongside the ship. It reached up with several of its flexible but robust arms, sweeping across the deck. The ship's captain exclaimed, "It's an octopus, a giant octopus." The massive cephalopod used its 8 tentacles to entwine the sailboat, shaking it violently. The crew scrambled to abandon ship and swam desperately toward a nearby small island. The giant octopus disintegrated the sailboat and rapidly pursued the escaping sailors. The last remaining crew member was captured by the colossal creature. Drawing his knife, he courageously engaged in a battle with the octopus. However, the octopus was too massive and his small knife was ineffective against its size. The giant octopus coiled around the crew member and swiftly swam further into the deep sea. The rest of the crew was terrified, struggling to reach the small island. Suddenly, the sea's surface erupted with a series of colossal water spouts and the waves roared. It was a massive sperm whale, approximately 20 meters long, which had opened its enormous mouth to confront the ferocious giant octopus. The giant octopus released the crew member, and a fierce battle ensued between the two titans. The crew cheered with excitement, shouting, "Sperm whale, avenge us!" The giant octopus wrapped its 8 arms around the sperm whale. But the whale suddenly leaped more than 10 meters into the air and then crashed down heavily onto the sea's surface. After several powerful impacts, the giant octopus was rendered unconscious and released its grip. The sperm whale, with its enormous mouth, swiftly engulfed half of the octopus's body. Amid the crew's cheers, the sperm whale carried the giant octopus back into the depths of the ocean. This story emphasizes bravery and the importance of helping one another. It's suitable for children to read and learn from as it teaches valuable lessons about courage and teamwork. The Golden House. In a field, there stood a small house with red walls, green windows, and a shiny golden roof. The house glistened brilliantly in the sunlight. A young girl lived in this golden house. Every morning, she would carry a flower basket and head to the meadow to pick flowers. One day, as the young girl went flower picking again, a little lamb approached her and said, "Good morning, dear. Your golden house is so beautiful, with its red walls, green windows, and shiny golden roof." A little bird flew by and chimed in, "Good morning. Your golden house is truly lovely, with its red walls, green windows, and shiny golden roof." A little dog came up and barked, "Good morning. Your golden house is amazing, with its red walls, green windows, and shiny golden roof." Following that, a little monkey joined the conversation, saying, "Good morning. Your golden house is wonderful, with its red walls, green windows, and shiny golden roof." Listening to everyone's praises about her house, the young girl felt elated. She decided to sing and dance with all her new friends. As noon approached, she had to head back home, and her animal friends gathered a bouquet of flowers to accompany her to the golden house. The little bird asked, "Can I come inside to play, please?" The young girl replied, "I'm sorry, but you flutter around and might make my house dirty." The little dog asked, "May I come inside to play, please?" The young girl replied, "I'm sorry, but your barking might keep me up at night." The little monkey and the little lamb also asked, "Can we come inside to play, please?" The young girl replied, "Even more so, you might tread with your hooves and paws, and it could damage my floors." She then bid her animal friends farewell, walked into her house and shut the door with a loud thud. She sang and danced inside for a while, but no one could hear her, and she felt lonely. Curiously, she peeked out of the window and saw her friends, the little lamb, the little bird, the little dog, and the little monkey playing joyfully in the meadow. The little lamb frolicked, the little bird soared, the little dog danced, and the little monkey rode on the little lamb's back, appearing quite proud. The young girl quietly opened the door, stepped outside, and joined her friends in the meadow. The little lamb greeted her, saying, "Come and play with us, dear." The little bird invited her, saying, "Come and have fun with us." The little dog and the little monkey also welcomed her. The young girl proposed, "How about all of you come over to my house to play?" The little bird inquired, "Aren't you worried I'll make your house dirty?" The young girl shook her head. The little dog asked, "Aren't you concerned my barking will disturb your sleep?" The young girl shook her head. The little lamb and the little monkey questioned her, "Aren't you afraid we might damage your floors with our hooves and paws?" Once again, the young girl shook her head. Everyone was overjoyed, and they all followed the young girl back to her golden house. Inside, they sang together, "Red walls, green windows, shiny golden roof, so bright and brilliant." This story teaches children the importance of friendship and sharing. It's a delightful tale suitable for young readers. Flying in the moonlight. The night had fallen, and the surroundings grew quiet, as those who needed rest were already fast asleep. However, it was time for the night creatures to awaken, and in this case, a family of flying squirrels. Number 5, "Today you must start practicing," Mother said sternly. Eldest bumped into the second born, who nudged the third, and third playfully stuck out their tongue at fourth. Fourth gazed sympathetically at the youngest, who was trembling in fear. "If you don't practice, you'll never learn to fly," Father said gently. "Starting from a high point and gliding down is effortless," Eldest comforted number 5. Second born hastily chimed in, "If you're afraid, just close your eyes." No, closing your eyes can make you crash into a tree," Fourth interrupted. Number 5 shivered, as if he had already felt the pain of crashing into a tree. "Just imagine yourself as a floating leaf," Third spoke poetically. Moonlight shines on the leaves, emitting a soft glow as if it's touching your fur and skin. As they discussed, all 7 of them stood on the same branch. Mother had quietly departed at some point, while Father hesitated, contemplating whether to give the command to take off. Suddenly, Mother's voice cried for help from below. "Oh my! Please come quickly. Quick, let's save Mother," Father bellowed, already taking flight. Eldest and fourth followed suit, with second born and third closely behind. Number 5 hesitated for a moment, but with a single brave leap, he took off. He felt the wind rushing past his ears, and all he could think about was rescuing Mother. "Let me fly faster," he thought. "I don't care if my posture is right or beautiful." I must protect Mother. He glided towards Mother's cry for help, and in his heart, he whispered, I have to fly faster. I don't care if my posture is correct. I don't care if I look beautiful. I must reach her first. He glided towards Mother's cry for help, and in his heart, he whispered, I have to fly faster. I don't care if my posture is correct. I don't care if I look beautiful. I must reach her first. As he soared, he couldn't help but feel the rush of air around him. It was incredible. But the most incredible thing was that he reached Mother's side. And when he landed, Father, Mother, and his older siblings were there, smiling at him. You did it, they exclaimed. Number 5 felt relieved but also a little sad. Am I the least clever of all the children? Mom had to use such a method to help me. No, you're much younger than your older siblings. They weren't any better when they were learning to fly, Father said, while gently ruffling Number 5's fur. This heartwarming story conveys the message that everyone progresses at their own pace and should never be discouraged. It's a delightful story suitable for young readers. Belle, the Whirling Monkey. Lately, Belle the monkey was not happy. He sat under a tree, gazing at the river flowing in the distance, his head hung low. One day, Belle visited his good friend, Crow by the river, but found no signs of the crow in the tree, not even its nest. Poor Crow, they must have fallen into the river with their nest, thought Belle, sorrowfully glancing at the river. A single golden leaf fell from the tree, following the river's current as it drifted away. Belle returned home feeling gloomy. His dad asked him to help dig peanuts in the field, but Belle grumpily replied, I'm not going. I don't want to eat peanuts. His mom suggested, it seems Belle needs to join me for the forest dance. Belle replied impatiently, I'm not going. Who wants to see a sad monkey dancing? His sister said, it looks like Belle needs to go to the amusement park with me to ride the merry-go-round. Belle shook his head vigorously, I'm not going. I have no interest in going anywhere when I'm feeling so down. Belle often sat by the window or went to the river, sitting under a tree, lost in thought, as if searching for something. His big brother grew worried, patting Belle on the shoulder, and said, the forest will hold a skipping rope contest soon. Belle, I've signed you up, and we'll participate together. Belle questioned, but I've never joined a skipping rope contest before. You can do it. Your brother believes in you. During the contest, you can skip the rope and do somersaults at the same time, and you'll surely amaze everyone. True enough, there were very few monkeys in the forest who could do consecutive somersaults. Whenever Crow used to loudly count in the trees, Belle would do somersaults under the tree, one after another. All right, Belle agreed. Belle went to an open area in the woods every day to practice skipping rope and somersaults. He had no time to sit alone in melancholy. The contest was drawing near, and Belle didn't want to disappoint anyone. The day of the skipping rope contest arrived. The animals gathered for the competition. Belle's whole family attended. When it was Belle's turn to skip, he performed somersaults while jumping the rope. The faster he skipped, the faster he somersaulted, until he was spinning like a windmill. The animals were amazed, applauding enthusiastically. Nobody had ever seen a monkey do consecutive somersaults. Without a doubt, Belle became the champion. and they started calling him Bell, the whirling monkey. As Bell went on stage to receive his award, he was surprised to see Crow sitting on the judges' panel. Bell approached Crow with his trophy, and Crow said happily, "Congratulations, you win. Are you a judge for this skipping rope contest?" "Yes. To ensure a fair competition and avoid participants wandering about, I temporarily moved my home." "I see. I thought you fell into the river." "Haha. It seems you were just too concerned about your old friend." Bell's parents and siblings came over to congratulate him, and most importantly, everyone saw the lively, cheerful monkey they once knew. Bell held Crow's wing and said, "The contest is over. You can move your home back now." "All right, I'll go back then." So Bell and Crow left together, leaving behind the heartwarming memory of a contest well won. This delightful story conveys the message that sometimes all we need is a little encouragement from friends and family to overcome our sadness and bring back our joyful spirit. It's a perfect tale for young readers. Ants counting the stars. Today is Little Ant's birthday, and her mom has cooked 2 tiny eggs for her. She can make a wish. Little Ant, what's your wish? "Mom, I want you to tell me how many stars there are in the sky." Mommy Ant doesn't know how many stars there are in the sky, dear. "I can't tell you that. Can you make a different wish?" "All right, you can go to school first. Later, I'll go and ask your grandmother." Little Ant went to school happily, carrying her little backpack. After Little Ant went to school, Mommy Ant rushed to her grandmother's house. To her surprise, she found her grandmother busy preparing something delicious for her grandson. Her grandmother noticed her and asked, "Why did you come alone?" "Where's my grandson, Little Ant?" "Little Ant has gone to school. You know, he insisted on knowing how many stars there are in the sky, and I had no way to tell him." "What should we do?" "Let me check with your grandmother," said Grandma Ant. Mommy Ant was puzzled, not sure how to respond. Grandma Ant continued, "Well, you should go to school, and I'll find a way to handle it." When Little Ant came back from school, she shouted, "Mommy, Mommy," several times, but there was no response. She went inside the house and found her mother missing. Little Ant wondered where her mom had gone. Could it be that she went to her grandmother's house? She remembered that her mother might have gone to her grandmother's house. So, Little Ant, carrying her backpack, went straight to her grandmother's house. At her grandmother's house, Little Ant saw many ants gathered. Suddenly, one ant uncle said, "We ants have a total of 9,873,000,000 ants. There are still 5 stars left without red flags." Grandma Ant continued, "Who's left?" "Well, it's your mom, me, and your little grandson. Adding the 3 of us, there are still 2 stars left without red flags. So, the number of stars in the sky should be 9,875,000,000. The ant uncle said, "That's right." Little Ant was moved to tears, thinking how much her grandmother, her mom, and the uncles cared for her. She realized that her simple wish had led them to count the stars for her. She decided that when she grew up, she would study hard, cherish nature, and do more good deeds. This delightful story conveys the message of the importance of nurturing children's curiosity and learning, as well as the warmth and love within a family. It's a perfect tale for young readers. installing a switch for the sky. Oh no, it's raining again. Long-eared Rabbit pushed open the window and said in frustration, "Not fun at all." Little Bear took a step outside, then retreated back inside. Someone must have been naughty and poked holes in the sky. Whiny Pooch pouted and peered at the gloomy weather before retreating indoors. With the rain pouring down, the friends couldn't play outside, and they were all feeling quite bored. "Hey, I have a great idea." Monkey Pee-Pee trudged through the mud and went door to door, sharing his plan. Soon enough, everyone gathered to hear Pippi's idea. "How about we install a switch for the sky?" Pee-Pee suggested. Little Bear asked, "Is that even possible?" "Of course. Just like we have switches to control water in our homes, with this switch, we can control the weather," Pee-Pee explained. Everyone thought it made perfect sense, so, led by Pee-Pee, they piled up some car wheels, filled the middle with plastic foam, and inserted an opened umbrella. This way, they created a massive switch. The question remained, where should they install it? They all stared at this enormous contraption and wondered what to do. "Let's carry it to the mountaintop. The sky is closest there," Pee-Pee suggested. So, Elephant, Giraffe, Little Dog, Monkey, and Little Mouse all came along, huffing and puffing as they carried the switch up the mountain. When they finally reached the mountaintop and took a breather, the switch suddenly tumbled down into a deep gorge, embedding itself in the valley. The thunderous noise startled the son, who was still fast asleep. He woke up and saw the gigantic button, and it brought a smile to his face. Back on the mountaintop, the friends celebrated with joy when they saw the sun come out. They happily exclaimed, "Wow, it worked!" Little did the sun know that the gigantic button was intended to be a switch for the sky. This whimsical story conveys a sense of imagination and the joys of teamwork, capturing the playful spirit of childhood. It's a delightful tale for young readers. Guests from the other side of Earth. Forest Grandpa had a globe, and he told Blue Fox, "We all live on Earth. The Earth is round, and on the other side, there are many residents too." Blue Fox, Bobo Frog, and Green Grass Snake all wanted to go and see what was on the other side of Earth. They were particularly curious about what the residents over there looked like. Blue Fox came up with a great idea. "Why don't we dig a tunnel? A very long tunnel that goes all the way to the other side of Earth." So, they all joined forces and began to dig. Meanwhile, Little Mole was fast asleep in his burrow. Suddenly, the roof collapsed and dirt tumbled down. "Goodness, is there an earthquake?" Little Mole rushed out of his burrow. "Hello, are you residents from the other side of Earth?" "Welcome, welcome." They surrounded Little Mole, giving him a warm welcome. Little Mole said, "I'm not a guest from the other side of Earth. I'm a guest who lives underground." Blue Fox explained, "A guest who lives underground. Forest Grandpa only told us that there are residents on the other side of Earth, but didn't mention residents living underground. Our Earth is truly remarkable." Green Grass Snake invited Little Mole to his home to enjoy some fresh strawberries. They set up a table with luscious red strawberries and feasted until they had round bellies. After their strawberry feast, Bobo Frog invited Little Mole to the pond for a swim. Of course, everyone joined in the fun. They swam, had water fights, and had a blast. Blue Fox, on the other hand, took Little Mole for a walk on the grassy field, and flew kites together. Little Mole was nearsighted, so when the kite got stuck in a tree, he couldn't see it. Red Squirrel climbed the tree to retrieve the kite for him. Little Mole invited everyone to his home to play, but the tunnel was too small for Blue Fox to enter. However, Little Mole was a tunnel digging expert, and he called many other little moles to help. In no time, they had dug a wide and long tunnel. They all went through the tunnel to Little Mole's home. He treated them to peanuts and walnuts and taught them the round dance. Haha, we're having so much fun at the home of our underground guests. Next time, we must dig an even longer tunnel all the way to the other side of Earth, Blue Fox said with excitement. He also warmly invited Little Mole, saying, "You should come with us. We're sure to have a fantastic time." This heartwarming story emphasizes friendship and the joy of exploring new places. It's a delightful tale for young readers. The Invisibility Cloak. On a beautiful sunny day, Smarty and Oddfruit went for a trip to the countryside. An insect buzzed around the grass, creating a melodious hum in the air. "Look, it's a bee," Smarty exclaimed. "No, that's not a bee. It's a large wasp, and it can sting you," Oddfruit quickly cautioned Smarty. Smarty was taken aback when he heard it was a wasp but couldn't resist curiously observing the wasp. They watched as it landed near a tree hole and eventually crawled inside. "Oh, it must be living in there," Smarty concluded. "I wish I had an invisibility cloak. That would be so exciting. I could sneak up to the hole and watch the wasp," Smarty mused. "An invisibility cloak?" Oddfruit inquired. "Yes, if I had an invisibility cloak, I could wear it, and no one would see me. It would be so thrilling." "That's not too hard. I can help you with that," Oddfruit declared, invoking a magical incantation. "Gloomy, doomy, gloomy, doomy, transform, transform, transform." Oddfruit twirled around Smarty 3 times. As a result, Smarty was now wearing a peculiar outfit. It looked like an ordinary, transparent raincoat that was long and oversized, complete with a hood. "Wow, Oddfruit, am I invisible now? Can you see me?" The invisibility cloak hasn't been activated yet. To activate it, you just need to put on the hood, and then you'll be invisible, and no one can see you, Oddfruit explained. As soon as Oddfruit finished explaining, Smarty excitedly put on the hood, and to his amazement, he became invisible. Smarty decided to do things he wouldn't dare do before. He approached the tree hole where the wasp had entered and peered inside. The wasp must have sensed something but couldn't find the intruder. "This is so exciting," Smarty whispered to himself. In the field, a water buffalo was grazing. Smarty approached it quietly and reached out to touch the buffalo's horn. The buffalo lifted its head and let out a couple of deep moo sounds, swishing its tail, then scanned the surroundings. Smarty was ecstatic. "This is truly magical," he thought. While exploring, Smarty spotted a cute little bunny. He was just about to get closer and pet it, but the bunny suddenly hopped away with an alert look. "Did it see me? I'm wearing the invisibility cloak," Smarty exclaimed. "Smarty, did you know that rabbits have an incredible sense of smell? They can detect their surroundings by scent. Some rabbits have a sense of smell even more acute than dogs," Oddfruit explained. "Oh, I see. It's not just the cloak that's magical. It's also the secret abilities of animals in nature, Smarty realized. The natural world is full of endless wonders. Join Smarty and Oddfruit in their explorations to learn and find joy in the mysteries of nature. This story is perfect for young readers and encourages them to appreciate the fascinating world of nature. Little Rabbit Autumn and the Apple Tree. Autumn had arrived and Little Rabbit Autumn was playing in the meadow. In the distance, it spotted a tall, grand apple tree adorned with bright red apples. What a beautiful sight! It hopped over in excitement and curiously exclaimed, "Why does this apple tree have a little door and even windows? Oh, it's an apple tree house." Peeking through the window, it noticed a glass with a flowery straw. Little Rabbit Autumn loved the flowery straw and gently knocked on the door, but there was no answer. It tried ringing the flowery doorbell, but still, no one came to open the door. Autumn wondered, why can't they hear such a loud doorbell? Maybe the treehouse's owner isn't home. Perhaps they've gone on a trip. Autumn pondered, who might live in this delightful home but couldn't figure it out. So it asked the apple tree, "Hello, Mr. Apple Tree, whose home is this? And it's so pretty inside." The apple tree replied, "Oh, this is the home of a little squirrel." "Why isn't the squirrel at home?" Autumn asked. "The squirrel has gone with the little swallow down south." "Ah, how come the squirrel went south with the swallow?" Autumn inquired. "Well, there used to be a big tree next to me, and the swallow's nest was on that big tree. The swallow even had 2 little babies. But one day, the swallow saw a group of lumberjacks. She thought they might cut down the big tree next to me. She watched as the lumberjacks raised their giant sides towards the tree. The swallow quickly grabbed her babies and left the big tree, flying to the squirrel's home. After some time, the weather grew colder and the baby swallows needed to learn to fly. The swallow family decided to head to the warm south. They took the squirrel with them. "Oh, I see. But, Apple Tree, don't be sad. The squirrel will surely come back with the swallow next spring. But I miss the squirrel and the swallow's family so much. It was so lively when they were here. In that case, I'll come and play with you every day from now on." "All right, that sounds wonderful," the apple tree replied, its branches swaying with joy and the red apples nodding in agreement. This heartwarming story is suitable for young readers and encourages them to appreciate the beauty of nature and the value of friendship. The story of Little Piggy Roundy's Hamburger House. Little Piggy Roundy loved hamburgers, especially egg and sausage hamburgers. He could eat 3 in one go without even burping. One day, Roundy had a brilliant idea: to buy a hamburger house where everything inside was made of hamburgers. Roundy started saving money. Rooster Cock-a-Doodle found it quite strange. He said, "Look, the hamburger trucks are here, and your favorite egg and sausage hamburgers are available today. Why aren't you buying them?" He knocked on Roundy's door. Roundy told Cock-a-Doodle that he was saving up to buy a hamburger house. But after a few days, when the hamburger trucks arrived, Cock-a-Doodle saw Roundy being the first to rush out of the house to buy 3 egg and sausage hamburgers. Cock-a-Doodle looked at Roundy in amazement, and Roundy said, Well, I just love hamburgers too much. For several days in a row, Roundy kept buying hamburgers to eat. He enjoyed the delicious hamburgers, but his money was running out. One evening, Roundy counted his money and decided to start saving properly from the next day. Finally, Roundy bought a hamburger house. Inside the house, the table was a hamburger, the chairs were hamburgers, and even the sofa was a hamburger. Roundy lay on his hamburger bed and felt very happy. When he got hungry, he would eat his pillow. When he ran out of pillows, he nibbled on a piece of the blanket, using it as a pillow. It was soft and smelled delicious. Roundy looked at his hamburger house, feeling so content. Suddenly, he heard a loud cry, "Ouch, that hurts." The sound came from Roundy himself. He had bitten himself. It turned out to be a dream, and Roundy was just too hungry because he hadn't eaten dinner properly. Outside, the hamburger truck had arrived again, and Roundy wondered, should he continue saving for his hamburger house, or should he go and buy hamburgers to eat?